Now, if you've noticed the top corner of your screen, this is our 100th episode. We're pretty kicked about it, but our achievements pale into insignificance when you see what we've got for you next. Car companies that have been around for more than 100 years. Here's Kailash Menon with more.
Yup, it's the 100th episode, and as we blow our own trumpet, there are those in the auto space who have achieved far, far more. 100 episodes? How about 100 years in existence? It's easy to think of the car as something modern, but then there are plenty of auto marquees that have been around for more than a century. Representing America are Ford and GM. German giants Audi and Mercedes to have 100 years of manufacturing under their belt. Czech car maker Skoda to have been selling cars since 1905. And here is our homage. These marquees have seen it all. They've served the wars, battled the Great Depression, both in the last century and this one, and still are going strong. Here are a few highlights of their 100-year-old car-making marathon. Let's start with Skoda. In 1899, Misters Laurin and Clement started a little company producing motorcycles, but by 1905, two-wheelers grew to four, and the first automobile, the Voitrit, was a runaway hit. From 1939 to 1945, Skoda had reserved majority of their supplies to feed the armed forces. In 1960s, technological advances in the automobile world forced Skoda to search for an international partner. In December 1990, the Volkswagen Group acquired Skoda as a centerpiece of their own post-Cold War strategy, which brought it to new markets, like India, for instance. Some say it was Ford's Model T that put the world on wheels, and quite rightly. It was back in 1908 that Henry Ford unleashed the production line Model T upon the world. Going through the Depression and two world wars meant the company had made everything from regular sedans and pickups to trucks and ambulances, airplanes, engines and tanks too.
Coming April 17th, the unexpected, the new Ford Mustang. Brilliant new kind of car. A new generation of Ford.
1963 was a big year for Ford, with the introduction of the Mustang, a car that represented fast, footloose and fancy-free America. It was a car that gave birth to the muscle car culture worldwide. The decade of the 80s and 90s was spent honing their production and technical skills to combat the Japanese invasion on the American market, with the millennium bringing its own problems of recalls, sluggish sales and quality issues. In 2002, it regained the lost momentum with the new Mustang and the Ford Escape Hybrid. And since then, it has been cruising along, especially in India, where the Ford plant has just rolled out its 100,000th Figo.
Ford.
1908 saw the birth of another American auto giant, General Motors, under the direction of Billy Durant. In the beginning, it was only Buick Motor Company, but by 1929, it had Chevrolet, Vauxhall and Opel under its wings. The period from 30s to 50s was all about breaking barriers in terms of design and technology. Cars like the Buick Roadmaster, the Corvette and Cadillac Eldorados ruled the roost. Post-1959, GM shrunk their massive designs and made cars that were fuel efficient and aerodynamic. 80s and 90s were spent globalizing the brand. With the transition to the digital age and the urgency of going green, GM was forced to come up with products like the Chevy Volt and energy-efficient hybrids and biofuel technology. The Audi badge, the four rings. is the emblem of one of the oldest car manufacturers in Germany. It was started by August Hirsch in 1899. His first car took to the streets in 1901. Audi established itself with the motorsports right from the start, but the company picked up pace as a credible car manufacturer post-World War II. In the late 1960s, it pushed the envelope with the introduction of Vorsprung durch Technik, or advancement in technology. March 1980, Audi unveiled the legendary Quattro, the permanent four-wheel drive technology at the Geneva Motor Show. The cars were slick, stylish, and virtually bomb-proof. And since then, there's no looking back. Last but not the least, Mercedes-Benz, the three pointed stars that represents technology, luxury and safety. The first vehicle rolled out in the early 1900s. It was a humble 35 horsepower racing car. The first Mercedes was low-slung, had a lightweight, high-performance engine and a honeycomb radiator. It featured numerous innovations and till date is regarded today as the first modern automobile. In 1936, they plonked a diesel motor and gave the world the first diesel passenger car. In 1952, it upped the game with the Gullwing. Technological advancements like the ABS, airbags and ESP followed suit. And after 125 years, it's still chugging on with wonders like the SLS AMG.